Calm down, Dad. Let's do a check-in. Hi, I'm Adam. I'm a brand new father. As of filming this, my son is now just 1 week old. And I am also a cat dad. And right now, one of my cats is yelling at me. I am also someone with over 20 years of experience learning and working with emotions, teaching people what emotions are. And over the past few days, I'm really feeling a calling to talk about emotions with other dads and help them stay calm when their baby isn't. And I'm trying to do this all in real time. Right now, it's a little bit after midnight. My wife is in bed, my baby is in bed. I have a little bit of time before I have to check diapers and give another bottle. And again, I'm in some dad communities, especially on Reddit, and I was there looking for some advice, and I'm seeing some of the questions other people are asking, and especially the way they're talking about emotions. And I just feel like I can help, so I started making these videos. Tonight, let's get right down into definitions. What are emotions, and what are your baby's emotions specifically? So first of all, think about emotions. What do you think about when you think about emotions? What does that word actually mean to you? The experience of it, how it applies to your life. The feeling of emotions. I've had this conversation over and over again with so many people, and for the most part, the biggest feedback that I receive when I ask them that is that people are only aware of their emotions when they're feeling an unpleasant emotion. People think emotions are this elusive mental, psychological thing, and men especially think it's something that you can completely ignore, deal with later. It's something that doesn't matter. But one of the biggest things, one of the first things I want everybody in the world to know about your emotions is that, oh, hold on, this is a YouTube video, so I have to save that part for later. We'll get back to that. Let's talk about your baby right now. Let's talk about your baby. Your baby, depending on how old they are, has almost no thoughts, comprehension, no complex psychological processes going on there. The thing that we usually tie to our emotional experience, the after feeling of the emotional state. Your baby is essentially, right now, just a nervous system and a body, arguably a soul. That for this conversation, we're just going to put that over here for now. But again, my son is only now 1 week old, and in the 7 days that I've experienced him, I have seen him express a full, complex emotional range. Facial expression, body expression of emotion, everything that goes with it. But he has no life experience. He has no thoughts or memories. His sadness is not my sadness. His experience of anger is not my experience of anger. It doesn't have all of the background, all of the weight, all of the after processing of the emotional state. My son goes into an emotional state and out of them very freely. And we're actually able to do the same thing. You just have to give yourself permission. Now, the biggest experience of emotions that we have is socially with other people carries responsibility of responding emotionally. When someone tells you something sad and upsetting, it would be odd to respond with joy or with laughter. And especially when you're dealing with people, with the emotions of people that you care about, like a family member, your partner, their heightened, unpleasant emotional states triggers an emotional quality in you and some kind of desire to solve the issue, make the other person feel better, address the emotion, address the situation, or address the thought process tied to their emotional state. But you don't have to have that same relationship with your baby. Your baby has no socialized emotional conditions yet. If your baby is crying and looks sad, it will not be offended if you don't also take on sadness. If your baby is screaming in anger, it will not be offended if you're also not angered by that situation. Now, if your baby is laughing, obviously it is difficult to not share in that emotional expression with them. That's a different kind of thing. We don't mind sharing heightened, pleasant emotions. It's the heightened, unpleasant emotions that usually carry a huge psychological weight. You don't need to do that with your baby. You can give yourself that permission alone, and that can help empower you to just remain calm through your baby's emotional storm. How do you do that? It's easy to learn, but it takes discipline. Think about push-ups. Pretty much everyone, I assume, knows what a push-up is. If someone describes doing a push-up to you, you don't get any stronger. If you learn the concept of a push-up and you do it once or twice, you still don't really get the benefit of it. In order to get the benefit of doing the push-ups, in order to get stronger, you have to make a discipline of it. You have to make a routine of it and do it over and over and over again. And it is the same thing with emotions. So going back to the number one thing that I want everybody to learn about emotions, they are physical. They are not just mental. They are not just psychological. Again, my 7-day-old child has no complex thoughts or psychological processes, but he has the full range of expression of every emotional state. This is about all the mental bandwidth I have to ramble on regarding emotions at this point, but they're not a huge mystery. They're not something to run away from when someone you love is in heightened, unpleasant emotional states. And with a little bit of learning and discipline, it is very, very easy, you'll find, for you to remain at least a little bit calmer in those times when you need to be present for your family when they're not able to be calm. I feel very passionate about teaching this. I really want to talk about this with other people, especially new dads, now that I'm seeing firsthand what this is like. So please, if you feel like you have any questions or if there's any aspects of emotions you would like for me to dissect or talk a little bit more about, I'm happy to do so. Calm down, Dad. You're doing a great job. Hope I am too.